For generations, the British monarchy has been built on spectacle, the gleam of medals, the rustle of silk robes, and the solemn echo of trumpets announcing centuries-old rituals. Tradition is, after all, the oxygen of the crown. But beneath that glittering pageantry, winds of quiet rebellion are stirring. And at their center stands Prince William, the future king who, insiders claim, is quietly preparing to dismantle one of the monarchy's most extravagant customs, a ritual he reportedly finds not noble, but slightly embarrassing and even ridiculous. Those close to the palace say that William's reign will not just represent the passing of a crown, but the shedding of layers, the trimming away of archaic spectacle that no longer reflects the modern world. And the first target, it seems, could be the monarchy's centuries-old love affair with elaborate costume. To the public, it's a familiar image. The royal family gliding down the hill from Windsor Castle to St. George's Chapel, their flowing velvet robes heavy with gold embroidery, their hats crowned with enormous ostrich plumes. It's the Order of the Garter, the oldest and most exclusive chivalric ceremony in Britain, a day of dazzling pomp, historic honor, and velvet in abundance. But according to multiple royal insiders, for Prince William, it's also a day of quiet discomfort. He's never looked more uncomfortable in his life than at Garter Day, one friend told The Telegraph. He just doesn't see the point of dressing up like that anymore. The claim might seem trivial, but within the deeply symbolic world of monarchy, what a royal wears can say everything about the direction they plan to take. Melissa Twigg, royal journalist for The Telegraph, recently wrote that the monarchy's obsession with ceremonial dress, from the gleaming military uniforms to the lavish capes, may be among the first traditions to fall under William's reforming gaze. The prince himself has almost no appetite for theatrical clothes, Twigg observed. The outfits worn by the royal family have remained suspended in amber since the Victorian era. Her words echoed a sentiment that has been whispered in palace circles for years. William doesn't want to play the role of the medieval night king. He wants to be something else, modern, relatable, and real. Royal historian Ingrid Seward, the editor-in-chief of Majesty magazine, went even further. I think William finds some of the pomp and circumstance, and particularly the more elaborate outfits, slightly embarrassing. I think he'll be relieved to tone it down. I have a feeling he thinks it all looks a bit ridiculous, like they are in fancy dress. That description, though blunt, may capture precisely what makes William different. He's not trying to reject monarchy, he's trying to recalibrate it. To keep what's sacred, but strip away what feels out of touch. The idea of simplifying royal appearance isn't new. Queen Elizabeth II, though a master of ceremonial grace, quietly modernized during her reign, from televising her coronation to allowing more informal photography of the royal family. Her son, King Charles III, has followed with his own reforms, streamlining the monarchy, reducing public expenses, and focusing the family's image on duty rather than display. But Prince William's generation, raised in the glare of media scrutiny and shaped by the modern world, seems poised to go even further. When speaking to actor Eugene Levy in Apple TV+, as the reluctant traveler, William gave what now sounds like a quiet mission statement. I think it's safe to say that change is on my agenda. Change for good. And I embrace that, I enjoy it. I don't fear it. It wasn't just a soundbite, it was a declaration. Royal watchers now believe that the change he referred to could reach deep into the monarchy's most symbolic rituals. At the heart of his approach lies a simple philosophy: relevance over ritual. For the Prince of Wales, tradition matters, but not at the expense of authenticity. His public image has long been built on informality. When he visits schools, he rolls up his sleeves. When he meets veterans, he often ditches the tie. When he tours disaster zones or speaks with environmental activists, his language is practical, not pompous. Even his staff at the Duchy of Cornwall, the estate he now manages, have noticed the difference. Under King Charles, ties and suits were mandatory. Under William, the dress code relaxed. No more stiff collars, no unnecessary ceremony. A palace insider joked, he wants people to work for the future, not for a portrait of the past. And yet, what's unfolding isn't just a style shift. It's a generational transition, a monarchy trying to breathe in the modern air without losing its soul. William's unease with the Garter des regalia goes beyond fashion. It's about optics, how monarchy looks to the people it serves. To some, the ornate feathers and glittering robes appear like history come alive. To others, they look like costly theatre, an echo from another age. The prince understands this tension better than anyone. He grew up in a monarchy that had to reinvent itself after tragedy, after the death of Princess Diana, when public faith in the royals hit its lowest point in a century. Since then, William has carefully built a new image for himself and for his family, approachable, relatable, emotionally grounded. The idea of standing before the world dressed as a 14th-century knight feels, to him, almost like parody. As Ingrid Seward pointed out, he might want to put more emphasis on the people who are receiving the honors rather than the royals themselves. That idea alone, that the future king would rather shift attention away from his own grandeur and toward others, reveals the heart of his evolving vision. This shift may already be visible in his projects. The Earthshot Prize, his signature initiative, is perhaps the clearest symbol of how he sees the monarchy's role in the 21st century. Instead of crowns and titles, Earthshot celebrates innovation, inventors, scientists, and environmental activists. Its ceremonies look more like global conferences than royal banquets. And that, experts believe, is the blueprint for the monarchy William will one day lead, leaner, purposeful, and attuned to modern ideals. Monarchy has to evolve, said one longtime royal aide. The world William will inherit is not the one his grandmother ruled. People don't need to be dazzled anymore, they need to be inspired. Still, the balance between change and continuity is delicate. For every royal who seeks to modernize, there are those who see such reforms as dangerous. The robes, the medals, the carriages, they aren't just accessories, they are symbols. Each feather and jewel tells a story of centuries of service and identity. To strip them away risks eroding not just tradition, but mystique. Even so, William seems willing to take that risk. As a friend once put it, he wants to be seen as a king of substance, not ceremony. And when that moment comes, when the young Prince of Wales finally takes the throne, those famous Garter des robes may stay folded in their glass cases, relics of a chapter that quietly ended the moment William decided that dignity no longer needed feathers to fly. Because for the man, who will one day wear the crown, modern royalty isn't about looking extraordinary. It's about being human. And if that means letting go of a few plumes of history along the way, then perhaps it's a small price to pay for keeping the monarchy alive in a world that's changing faster than ever.